Hey, what's going on? This is the biggest update on STEAV yet. I'm going to jump right into it. I started off by iterating on destruction of the mining and the crystals. I wanted to get some juice and some feedback into the game. So along with that, I was able to put together some effects that I could spawn to create just this feedback loop where you're going to get the crystals, and I just want it to feel good. I don't want it to be boring. So I did a little bit of more lighting adjustments and just practiced this feedback loop a bunch of times until I got it to a place where I felt like it felt good to leave it there for now, at least. I had to get really organized with my blueprints at this point. I realized I was missing the main core buildings that I wanted to have in the level, which are going to be like the main POI that you go to. That's the hub of the level. So I got one off of Fab just to like try it out. And then I was like, I'm going to build them myself. So here's a radar station that I built. The goal is to have them translucent with like a little UI where you go to it and you deposit materials into it. And when you deposit the required materials, it spawns the building. Then you can use the functionality of the building. And I put all of my blueprints in here now because I just cannot be testing them in the level because there's just too much going on. I have to control for all of the different variables. So I'm just going to put them in their own level for now. This is kind of the stuff that I have. I think it looks awesome. Then I realized I really need to start working on optimization. I was running like 30 to 50 millisecond frame, and I was having hitches up to like 100 millisecond. Totally unacceptable. I mean, we're talking like 10 frames a second when like things were not optimized and when things were hitching. So I built the level completely from the ground up, and I started to learn how the atmosphere, how the ground, how triangles, draw calls, all of that affected. And I got this down to I think 100 draw calls, 10K, 20K primitives, down to 4 or 5 millisecond. I don't know what that is, 160 frames per second. I'm trying to buy myself headroom so I have room to spend on effects and things like that, which I did not do before. So here I am just kind of recreating some kind of platforming level, something that I can work with. This is what it looks like in game. And now I'm happy with that. Now I can move back on to what I was doing, which was trying to create something. Now I wanted to get into the locomotion. This is the real stuff I always want to do. This is what I imagined when I wanted to do STEAV, was fun locomotion. Just moving the vehicle would be exciting and fun. So I went and took the static tracks off that I built for my tutorial, and I went ahead and put this articulated 6-leg suspension, and I put a rig on it, learning that for the first time, articulated kinematics or whatever it's called. So I'm weighting everything to the bone structure, and then I'm going to import it back into Unreal. I'm going to attach physics to everything, and then I'm going to try to run it off of the basic movement system, which I realize is just not built for that. But what is built for that is Chaos Vehicle. So I dove into Chaos Vehicle, and I tracked this stuff. Man, I spent, I think, 84 or 86 hours working on Chaos Vehicle from the ground up. First, I tried to just slap it onto STEAV, and this is what happened. I got this pogo effect, I got the sliding effect, I couldn't figure it out. Now, what it was, if anybody runs into this, is that when you put the Chaos Vehicle onto your own asset, what it does is it puts the axles in the center of the vehicle. So you actually have to go in there and you have to custom offset the axles, because what this is showing is both axles right in the center of the vehicle. So anything that you do is going to make it go crazy. So you also got to learn the debugging tools that are there for Chaos. You'll see me start to use them here, but that was a huge help. Once I started learning the native debugging tools for it, it was really easy to see what was going on. My solution to learning all of this was creating the most primitive Chaos Vehicle I possibly could, and from the ground up controlling for the fact that my asset could have been sloppy or whatever. And then I start throwing the debugging overlays on it, and within a couple hours I was able to figure out this is what it looks like. They actually have a debugger for it showing the axles and the contact points, and this shows them properly spread out. And when you apply that to your custom asset, it should work smoothly like this. And I also have the animated articulated suspension there, and that is the update, guys.